Is this the reason why the US Congress is shaking because of Elon Musk? And this is by John Rappaport. Take a deep breath, he says. Okay, here we go. Stay with me. It won't take long. Yes, I've written about Musk and about the dangers of integrating AI into government operations and policy. But on the other side of the coin, Musk and DOGE, Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, have been relentless in exposing financial fraud and federal agencies at USAID, for example. But what about this? Think about the very large federal budget, the bill that sits in Congress every year, the bill that nobody reads, the one they end up voting on. It contains every payment to every federal agency. Each agency submits its budget requests, and those requests go into the giant bill. But first, before that happens, congressional subcommittees study the budget requests. This is an important step. For example, a House Health Subcommittee will review the CDC's budget request for the next year and decide which ones to approve, which ones to change, and which ones to reject. These congressmen judge the CDC's requests. Or a congressional subcommittee on military affairs is reviewing the Department of Defense budget requests. See what's going on here? The Department of Defense wants its budget requests approved. The lawmakers on the subcommittee are going to make important decisions about those requests. And these people know each other. The people in the Department of Defense know the people on the congressional subcommittees. The people on the subcommittees have a lot of power in this situation. If they approve the Department of Defense budget request, don't they deserve a thank you? A big thank you? We're talking about billions of dollars here, hundreds of billions in the case of the Department of Defense. Let's say that Representatives Skilomouris, who serves on his subcommittee every year, has come up with a plan. He and a friend, who is not an elected official, create a business entity in his friend's name. The business entity is called the National Defense Studies Project. Sounds good, right? And Representative Skilomouris, who sits on the subcommittee that reviews the Department of Defense budget requests, makes sure that money is approved every year for something else called Artemis weapons, which makes tank parts. Representative Skilomouris has friends in Artemis, a legitimate organization. When Artemis finally gets federal money, it earmarks a small portion of it, just $6 million, for the National Defense Studies Project, Congressman Skilomouris' small office in Chicago. Skilomouris' friend, who founded the studies project, gets his share, and Skilomouris gets the rest. And this happens every year. Diversions and kickbacks. Congressman Skilomouris, who has 2 houses in Virginia that no one knows how he can afford, and a vacation home on Martha's Vineyard, is doing just fine. And no one has figured out what's going on because no one is tracking federal money. No one until Musk and his cronies started poking around. And now, of course, Congress members are screaming about Musk and DOGE. Of course they are, because DOGE may stumble upon some or more of the reasons why these congressional people have gotten so rich. Wouldn't you scream if you were hiding something and Musk's charismatic children, who don't give a damn about the way things really work in Washington, were happily climbing all over federal money payments? And as the young hounds get closer, you scream louder. You blame Musk and DOGE for everything under the sun, and let's assume that Republican Representative Skilomouris is just one federal lawmaker among a bunch of such people who have been swindling federal money for years. The revelation is this: scandal would tear the federal government apart from the rest. Happy hunting, guys, and dig deep. And this is by John Rappaport's Substack, a well-known independent journalist. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support. and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.